Gabba the game night, Gabba the game night, Gabba the game night, yeah.
Hey, it's Gabba the Gamer here, and I'm back playing some more Phoenix Wright. It's to remember VSC. He is playing as always, and it's February 25th, 9:47 a.m. District Court, Fan Lobby, number 2.
Oh no, I forgot all my voices!
Oh no!
No, I'm just kidding. Or am I?
Every voice this episode is completely different.
This is the defendant lobby, alright, but there's no defendant! No. I've been trying to reach Lana all morning. Where could she be? And where's Emma, for that matter? It almost seems as if... I hate when they do this. I don't know.
Something's been happening behind the scenes! Says me!
Edgeworth! Why does your voice sound so weird?
No, you've already figured it out.
Okay. You really put me on the spot. I mean, were you choking on something? Did you... I got nothing, man. I'm sorry.
Who the owner of the 777777 ID number is, that is?
Well, I have a pretty strong hunch. Looks like I'm not the only one who's figured it out.
Gant, jump scare. You know, the only reason this trial didn't reach a verdict yesterday is because there was still room for doubt regarding this ID record. If that number does belong to whom you suspect, then no doubt will remain. After all, he hasn't been officially charged with anything.
True. Not yet.
In any event, once all doubt has been removed from that list, I can call for a ruling. 5 minutes, Wright, and Chief Prosecutor Sky will be found guilty.
But she didn't do it.
I figured you'd say as much. That's why I came here, to hear what you have to say. Tell me your defense real quick so I can debunk it.
It's the first time he's ever done something like this. Lana's hiding something, and the only way we'll ever know the truth is to jaw it out of her.
The truth?
Everything goes back to the SL9 incident.
Don't be stupid. Today's the last day of the trial. We don't have time to reminisce about the past.
Reminisce?
Reminim.
Eminem?
Reminim.
I prefer Reese's Pieces, but okay.
No, I'm referring to the rapper.
Oh, yeah, he's alright. I mean, I'll take Rakim over him, but you do you. Oh, anyway, that depends on you. I don't even know what we're talking about at this point.
Me neither.
Try to get me back on... Oh, well, great. You want to get some coffee or something? I don't drink coffee, but you want to go get a burger or something?
Sounds good. Did neither the lawyer or the prosecutor show up to the trial?
Where are they?
There's the first day of the trial.
I don't know what to do. Would anybody in the audience like to be a lawyer? It's like the fucking Price is Right. Come on down! You're the next prosecutor on The Verdict is Right!
Oh boy, I don't fucking know.
Oh, I don't even know if I read that.
I'll think about it.
Okay, I don't know what you're thinking
I'll
about.
think about the coffee. But for now, I'll see you in court, Wright.
I'm gonna have a coffee date with Edgeworth later. This is it. My coffee date with Edgeworth. If I'm ever going to find out what Chief Gant has on her, it's now.
Man, if only Phoenix has Magatama from the second game. February 25th, 10 a.m. District Court, Courtroom number 9. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky.
The defense is ready, Your Honor. To go on a date with Edgeworth.
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. To take Phoenix on a date.
Or you should when the prosecution
No, when the prosecution puts forth his opening statement. But my twin brother's here being an asshole.
I'm sorry, I'll just leave then.
Do. But before that, the police chief has a proposal to make.
Chief Gant has learned instant transmission. Well, it wasn't really instant.
Manifested that. Morning, folks. How's everyone doing? Hey, have you been back to the pool yet? No, I've been drowning enough as it is in my work. Oh, that's a good one. Don't think I can top that. If you don't mind me asking, Chief, exactly what is this proposal of yours? I'm proposing to you, Edra.
I'm already taken by Phoenix.
Lana, that is to say, the defendant, has asked me if she could speak directly to the court.
She wants to do what?
Having heard what she intends to say, I feel like she should be granted her request. In the end, it should save everyone a lot of time and trouble. No. Request denied. Bye. Again. What's this all about, defendant?
I'd just like to make one simple request, and I'll be finished.
Well then, what's your request?
Your Honor, I'd like you to put an immediate end to this trial.
What?
I confess to all charges against me. On February 21 of this year, I murdered Detective Bruce Goodman in the underground parking lot of the prosecutor's office. Oh, Lana!
You silly goose!
You can't! Your Honor, the defendant's claim does not change the defense's plea. In that case, Mr. Wright, I no longer require your services. But Lana! Your Honor, I hereby forfeit my right to an attorney. The prosecution may lack direct evidence against me, but it has sufficiently proven its case through testimony and circumstantial evidence. I would like you to render your verdict now, if you please.
Well, the defense only has the right to self-representation. The request is legally valid, although this is an unprecedented situation. Indeed, it appears there is no further need to continue this trial, even if Mr. Wright may feel otherwise.
This can't be happening.
It's an instant game over. It appears the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant. Man sure found the rubber duck on day one. Get the good day. One moment, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth? The prosecution has not yet proven the defendant guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Any ruling at this stage would certainly be premature. Come now, Worthy. I understand there's a difficult time for you. But why don't you just be a good little boy and keep your mouth shut, hmm?
Let's Edgeworth just throw something at him right now.
Shut the fuck up, Gant. I don't think I care for your tone, Chief Gant. What? Creating another fabrication to cover up your past mistakes. Sorry, but I'm no longer the naive little boy you would have me be. With this sudden confession from the defendant, it's obvious to me some kind of deal was struck behind the scenes. Some kind of deal, hmm? Not everyone operates as you do, Worthy.
Ooh, shots fired.
I thought so. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to change its first witness. Oh? To whom? As its first witness, the prosecution would like to call Miss Emma Skye. I request the court hears her testimony.
Mr. Edgeworth, I am exercising my right to self-representation. I don't think we need to
I don't care what you think, Miss Skye. The exposure of truth sometimes results in tragedy. However, no matter how tragic the truth may be, it would be an even greater tragedy to avert one's eyes from it. Very well. The court shall grant the prosecution's request. That's okay with you, right, Chief Gant? Worthy. You'll live to regret this, mark my words. Miss Emma Skye, please take the stand.
Looks like Edgeworth has decided to take the horse by the reins. I don't know what Phoenix is here for anymore, though. He just got fired.
Yeah. Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation.
My name is Emma Skye. My occupation? I'm Lana's little sister, and I want to be a scientific investigator.
2 years ago,
A friend of mine.
you encountered the serial killer Joe Dock of the Joe Dock killings. Is this correct?
Yes. I'm trying my hardest to forget about that, though.
Too bad, remember it. I'm sorry. but I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to recall those events one more time. Mr. Edgeworth, please remember this trial concerns the murder of Detective Goodman. Is an incident that was resolved 2 years ago really all that relevant? Yes, it most certainly is. Okay. Well, okay then.
He sure gave in fast.
So Phoenix, fall into the audience stands now. Please testify about what happened to you 2 years ago.
The trip to yesteryear has finally begun. It's bound to lead to the truth behind this trial.
You can't handle the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
You can't handle it.
You can't handle the truth. Neither one of us is good, Nicholson.
Oh, I don't know what sounds like.
I was waiting in my sister's office that day. A man came running in and took me hostage. Neil Marshall rescued me, but I'll never forget what I saw in that instant. The man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest.
It's a good thing you weren't harmed.
I passed out. I don't remember much.
That's understandable. However, please tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, what does this testimony have to do with Detective Goodman's murder?
You know, there's a lot of parallels between this case and the one where Edgeworth's dad died.
Yeah. That will soon become apparent, Your Honor. Yeah, it's like we just did the DL6 incident, and now it's like, why do it again?
You gotta admire him for his courage, considering he has no evidence.
So that's SpongeBob meme. Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination. Even though you're no longer the defense, I guess, so get out of here. Skedaddle.
Okay, well, let's do this. 2 years ago, the defendant was a detective at the police department, correct? Yes, she was second in command under then Deputy Chief of Police Gant. My sister, she was the best detective ever.
Yes, I remember. Deputy Chief Gant and Miss Sky used to be quite the pair. I believe they shared the same office. They were roommates, one might say.
That's right. I'd always sit at my sister's desk and dream about playing that organ.
It's a big organ.
I wanted to play it that day, too.
The police department and the prosecutor's office held a ceremony that day.
Lana promised to take me to dinner after she finished work.
What, were we going out for hamburgers?
A man? Yes, Joe Dark. He was a serial killer.
Not the Lucky Charms. Joe Dark was brought in for questioning on the day of that ceremony. We were desperate to get anything on him that would lead to an arrest. When he saw his chance, he fled the room, right? Upon fleeing the room, Dark proceeded to take the elevator. He must have been in a panic because the elevator was going up. Then he ran into Sky and Gant's office.
There was a lot of noise coming from outside, so I opened up the door to have a look. That's when I saw him. Oops. That one was too short. What was the prosecutor doing there?
That day, there were 2 people present during Dark's questioning. Deputy Chief Damon Gant and Prosecutor Neil Marshall.
Almost forgot about Gant.
Neil Marshall had just received the King of Prosecutors Award. Young and dedicated, he went straight to the questioning room after the ceremony. I assume that would also be why he was the first to run after Dark.
When Dark grabbed me, I thought I was as good as dead. And that's when Prosecutor Marshall came running in? I don't clearly remember what happened then, but... Can you tell us about that? Mr. Marshall jumped on Dark. Just then, the lights went out.
The lights?
It was just about this time of year. There was a terrible storm going on, and lightning struck nearby. So the electricity went out.
Wait a minute. If it was pitch dark in that room, you shouldn't have been able to see anything, right?
Right, but just then lightning flashed again outside. That sudden flash left an unforgettable image of the scene in my mind.
I see.
I told the detective about what I saw then.
The detective?
Yes, Detective Goodman. He was in charge of the case.
Detective Bruce Goodman, the victim. So you spoke with Detective Goodman about this 2 years ago?
Yes, that's what's so scary about this trial.
And you told Detective Goodman about what you saw?
Yes, but at the time, the words just couldn't or wouldn't come out. That's why I drew a picture.
A picture?
Yes, I think she mentioned that before.
Well, Mr. Wright, have you heard enough?
This picture the witness drew, I believe it has a very important meaning.
But the list of evidence I was given 2 years ago didn't contain a picture. Edgeworth, you're being a silly goose. Witness, would you mind if we added this statement to your testimony? Edgeworth, look
yes,
at the back.
Your Honor.
Look at the back, Edgeworth. Our half has a
I
back.
drew a picture of that scene once, but it seems to have been lost.
We have it.
You drew a picture of the scene you witnessed, right?
Yes, I want to do everything I could to help the investigation. I can still see it now whenever I close my eyes.
But if you close your eyes... That's strange. I took over the case after Prosecutor Marshall died. Yet I never received any picture. Perhaps the witness is mistaken?
But I did draw it, I swear. I'm not just imagining it.
This picture that Emma drew, that reminds me. I guess I should check the evidence again.
I'm pretty sure there's like one instant game over in this trial. But that's near the end. Well, anyway, let's continue. This scene that imprinted an image in your mind. Can you please describe it to us?
The man...
We won't need a press though if you don't want.
Do what?
We don't need a press though if you don't want.
Oh, I got one more left.
Okay.
That must have been a real shock.
Even now when I close my eyes, I can still see it just as clearly.
Tell us, what were you doing at that moment? I believe you testified that Joe Dark was holding you hostage.
When lightning struck and the lights went out, Mr. Marshall jumped on Dark. I was thrown aside and the two began wrestling each other. I'm pretty sure I was watching them.
Emma doesn't have any reason to lie, but Lana sure does. I need to get Emma to tell as much about this as she can.
Alright, let's show the picture. There we go. We got that. Scott schooled us 700 pieces of evidence. Almost done.
This one?
Yeah, it's on the back.
Let me double check.
Funny thing, when we first looked at this, we were looking all around the front, and we just didn't flip it over until later.
I would say we've seen this.
Yeah, until later. But when we first got it, we just looked at the front. I'm pretty sure.
If you say so. Oh, I pressed the wrong button.
My bad.
Mr. Edgeworth, this little girl put all her heart into drawing that picture. And yet you would insist on denying its existence? Boy, he's coming kind of hot at Edgeworth.
How dare you, Edgeworth!
Edgeworth, saved the trial.
Hey, I'm not the bad guy. I'm taking you on a coffee date later. All I'm saying is that as the prosecutor for that case, I wasn't handed such a picture.
That may well be. But that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Behold.
This is the evidence list for the SL9 incident. This is not a picture, Felix.
Please turn it over, Your Honor.
Turn it over? Turn it... Ah! What's this? I've never seen Marco before! Yes, what is that?
Hey, that's it. That's the picture I drew.
Indeed, 2 men appear to be wrestling her. Except for one has a rectangle. What's the meaning of this? What are you doing with that list?
Me?
Only the prosecutor in charge should have access to that list. Huh? These lists, they're different from each other. What? It would appear, Mr. Edgeworth, that the evidence list you were handed 2 years ago was incomplete. These 2 lists fit together to form one. You can see the marks here, but they're torn apart from each other.
So you see, Mr. Edgeworth, it's quite obvious what happened. 2 years ago, only half the evidence in that case ever reached you.
What? What? Order! But Miss Sky, why did you draw your picture on the back of such an important list?
Because that's what Detective Goodman handed me in the questioning room, Your Honor. Wait a minute. If this list was torn in half, then that means... Your Honor.
Are you alright, Mr. Wright? Your eyes are bulging from your head.
Kinda like yours?
Shut up with my eyes.
If the evidence list was torn in half, then there might be more of the drawing on the back of Mr. Edgeworth's list. And nobody's bothered to look at it for 2 fucking years.
Yep, only ever looked at the front. Yes, that's quite conceivable, Mr. Edgeworth. It's possible. Let's see. Fuck. Is something wrong?
Do you even have to ask?
Sorry, Your Honor.
Quick turnaround.
There's indeed something drawn on the back of my list. It's that thing. It's back! That's that thing. That thing that was dancing in the evidence room. Clearly, this act of vandalism is the work of a certain chief of detectives.
I guess he was out of scrap paper. Evidence list restored and updated in the court record.
Very well. Witness, will you please testify about this picture you drew 2 years ago?
Huh? Oh, yes, sir, Your Honor. What's wrong with Emma? She seemed to be thinking about something when she was looking at the picture.
Emma's picture.
This is the picture I drew 2 years ago. And the flash of lightning was so bright, all I could see was shadows. After that, I must have fainted. This picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant.
To think a flash of lightning could burn such an image into your mind.
Thanks to that, though, she was able to show us exactly what she saw.
Well, I don't see any contradiction, sir. This clearly shows Joe Dark about to murder Prosecutor Neil Marshall. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Alright, let's put some like the restatements she had.
Did you draw this picture right after the incident? I think I drew it 2 or 3 days later. At first, I was in such a state of shock that I couldn't do anything.
During that time, the investigation team was reorganized. Detective Goodman was placed in charge, under the direction of Damon Gant and Lana Sky.
2 or 3 days later. The memory should still have been fresh in her mind.
Excuse me, witness. But can you please tell us why this picture is painted all black? Because she was only given a black marker? She was given a Sharpie to draw?
So at the time you didn't even know it was Mr. Marshall who had come to your rescue? No, I couldn't see him clearly. The lightning was so bright, and I was knocked to the floor. You were knocked to the floor.
Doc had a tight grip on me, but when Mr. Marshall jumped on him, I was knocked away. I turned around, and that's when the lightning flashed. Poor Emma. I'm just glad she wasn't hurt.
What happened after the lightning flashed?
You mean you didn't see the actual murder take place? No, I'm sorry.
The flash of lightning only drove off the darkness for a split second. Not only that, but the trauma of the situation understandably caused the witness to faint. Do you really need to torture this girl any further?
What? Hey, I'm not the bad guy here.
Revenge, bitch.
Anyway, this picture...
But does it?
Sorry for asking you so many times, but are you sure you drew exactly what you saw? Of course, this is the exact scene. It wasn't influenced in any way from your talks with the detectives?
Are you insinuating we somehow manipulated her memory, Mr. Wright?
No, of course not. You better watch out or he might find some way to cut my salary. I drew this picture before I heard anything from the detectives, so I don't think anyone's story would have influenced me.
Mr. White, is there something that's bothering you about this picture?
Huh? Oh, well...
I'm staring at you, Mr. White.
That's strange. She claims this is exactly the scene that was imprinted in her mind, and yet... there's clearly a contradiction here.
There's?
Oh, fuck.
Alright, let's look at all the evidence. Evidence.
I guess I have to go to percent first,
Yeah,
right?
so don't press the percent button. Just keep your finger away from
Are you sure? Wait, even better. Huh?
Don't. No. Alright,
Okay,
so...
first off, let's go look at the picture.
Okay.
I almost presented it.
Blue badger there.
Shame I can't turn it or anything.
Yeah, you gotta turn your head just to look at it. Alright, so, guy holding a square knife in his left hand, putting his other hand on the shoulder. Well, he's like, ah!
What about the blue badger being there?
I mean, that's important, but not right now, probably, maybe.
You sure it's even the blue badger, not literally just a badge?
It's something. I feel like it has something to do with, like, the knife or the hand or something.
I mean,
I
that's
feel
a
like
really
I
big
remember
hand.
I feel like I remember something like that. Did the knife have, like, right hand fingerprints on it or something?
Is it even that specific?
I don't know.
This is the knife, right?
Yeah, it doesn't really say anything. Or you could argue because the broken tip looks more square, but the tip wasn't broken when...
No.
He
Or
was
you
stabbed.
could argue that she drew it blind because the tip was already broken.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And the tip was found inside of him, so he should have, it should have not had the
pointy.
tip. So do we present the knife or do we present the picture? And say, hey, this is wrong.
I don't think we present here, though.
Yeah, I think probably the last one.
We probably
Oh,
present
better view of the picture right there.
here.
Yeah. We present one of those 5 things. Why to press plus and save the game.
Are you really that worried about it?
Nah, we're fine. We'll do that once we get down to 1 HP. Dang it, music didn't stop. It's not the knife.
Then
We don't have to
I'm not
present
even
the
reading this then.
Yabba-doo. That's what the judge says. What do we present? Do we present just the picture that we're looking at? Maybe. I don't know. This case gets annoying at times. And you have so many things to possibly present.
I didn't mean to actually present it. I meant to check it. I'm so sorry. Maybe I should have saved the game.
Alright, let's be a bit more
careful. I kicked the mic again. I'm sorry.
Alright,
This picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant. We don't have any other pictures of the instant.
yeah.
After that, I must have fainted. The flash of lightning was so bright, all I could see were shadows.
Yeah, no contradicting that.
This is the picture I drew 2 years ago.
I mean, that's true.
All I could see were shadows.
I mean, it feels like this last thing. I mean, there's something out of the picture to contradict.
Okay, well, let's start. Hold on, where's the SL9?
Yeah, and also maybe the autopsy. Not much there.
No, not much there.
Let's look at the autopsy. Stabbed in the back. I mean, knife tip was found. That we could present that. Say, hey, there's no tip on this knife.
Maybe. Single stab, wound piercing, heart and lung. Died from blood loss under 10 minutes. Weapon found in wound was missing tip.
If you want, you still have a chance to say before presenting any evidence. I mean, we don't have a lot else relating to the. That's okay. Oh,
why's it got a screw back? What?
It's a screw on badge, apparently.
That's bizarre.
What does it say? Wait. Okay, yeah, I can't read that.
Yeah.
What's
26381?
That's Phoenix's number. And he just screws it onto his shirt, I guess.
Wait, what about the badger? I'm not gonna present it, but should we look at it at least?
That's the blue badger.
Yeah.
And if you remember, the blue badger was actually invented around the time of the first game. It was about a year ago. I think. This is the first game. Earlier in the first game. Yep, SL9.
Oh, you know what? Do you want to go through the damn evidence? It's like you're mocking everything
No,
I pull
it's
off.
like-
And you don't... Your ideas didn't work?
I don't know what to do. I got one more piece of evidence that's potential. And most of this doesn't relate to SL9. Like, isn't directly from SL9. And there's rubber glove, but there's nothing about fingerprints or anything.
Yeah. And it wasn't the knife, so I guess there's no real point in checking that again.
Yeah.
Oh, look how thin it is. I can hardly see it. Oh! I'm sorry.
Yeah, my last hope is the autopsy.
There was nothing there.
I mean, it does say, if you look at just the outside thing, it says, doesn't say tip found in, yeah, a knife tip was found in the wound, and you, that's the only argument I can make, it say, hey, there's no tip on the knife, she drew a rectangle. I got nothing else.
That's kind of what we were going for with the knife.
Yeah, it could be you have to be very specific with what you present.
I mean, it's such a fucking clunky drawing to begin with. That feels like a stretch, but...
I mean, yeah.
I mean, it ain't exactly the best drawing. They don't have hands. They have round mitts, but...
Fix, are you... her drawing skills are bad, okay? That's not evidence.
Hey, here we go.
Please. Oh, thank God.
I'm done fucking around, Your Honor.
So more for showing you those random things than sitting in my corner for 5 minutes.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this picture that the witness drew contains a blatant contradiction. What? But I still remember it like just like it was yesterday.
Mr. Wright, perhaps it would be faster if you simply pointed out this contradiction for us. What part of this picture contradicts the autopsy report?
Why is his speech in green all of a sudden?
The green is whenever something important happens.
The contradiction, of course, lies here. Take a look at the knife the man is holding.
That's a rectangle.
If you look closely, you can see its tip is broken.
Phoenix, she's bad at drawing. Even I don't have to look closely to see that, Mr. Wright.
And I'm blind as a bat.
I mean, it doesn't necessarily show a broken tip. Maybe if it looked like the broken tip, but that's a rectangle.
But, Mr. Wright, look at the evidence. See the murder weapon? The tip is broken, too.
You silly goose. If I recall, the tip of the knife was found broken off in the victim's body. Exactly.
It was a conclusive piece of evidence that proved Joe Dark was the murderer. I'm afraid it's not so simple, Emma.
And where, pray tell, could you possibly see a problem?
It's obvious, really. The victim suffered a single stab wound to the back. If the victim was only stabbed once, then the murder weapon should not yet be broken. Sorry, I didn't mean to skip. What's the meaning of this?
Perhaps the knife was broken beforehand.
Sorry, but I'm afraid that's not possible. The tip of the knife was found inside the victim's body. If it was broken beforehand, it couldn't possibly wind up there.
That's right. What does this mean? The tip of the knife was undeniably discovered within the victim's body. The only possible explanation is the witness's memory is mistaken.
That's why I asked her so many times if she was sure she remembered correctly. I believe you were annoyed at the time, but she was sure she remembered correctly.
But there's no other way to explain this inconsistency.
Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. There is another explanation. Have you forgotten already? About a little something called falsified evidence?
You're treading on thin ice, Wright.
All I'm saying is that this broken knife tip might be the piece of evidence that was forged. You can't deny the possibility.
No. Order, order, order! Are you saying the investigation really was corrupted?
Your Honor, please allow me to once again go over the events that took place the day of the murder. The police department and the prosecutor's office were holding a ceremony that day. After receiving the King of Prosecutors award at the ceremony, Neil Marshall questioned Joe Dark along with Damon Gant. During his questioning, Joe Dark fled the room. Prosecutor Marshall chased after him and was killed by Dark. It is my belief that somewhere in this story there is a lie. I'm not lying. The man really was holding up a broken knife.
If that's true, then there's no other way around it. This could not have been the actual murder weapon. There must have been another broken knife. What are the chances of there being 2 broken knives?
Another broken knife besides Joe Dark's. Could there have been one? If the witness is this adamant about the accuracy of what she saw, it can't just be explained away by a simple observational error. Mr. Wright, in that instant, Emma really did see a broken knife.
I assume, then, that you have some information about this other broken knife. If so, please feel free to enlighten us.
The murder weapon was already broken prior to the murder. There's only one way. Take a look at this. Here's the real murder weapon.
Okay, which one do we show?
We show this, right?
Probably. Is it that or the actual trophy itself?
Well, yeah, but the actual trophy doesn't have...
Yeah.
It still looks like she's holding a knife there. That Lana's holding a knife. Look at that. I mean, I know if you glance down, you see her hand, but if you just glance, it really looks like she's holding a knife. Anyway.
God damn it.
Are you kidding me?
Wait, maybe.
The answer lies in the past. 2 years in the past.
Okay.
Right here inside this picture.
The music was playing tricks on us. This is the picture of the award ceremony. Ah!
I sound like the judge.
Ah!
Oh, what is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? It's the broken murder weapon.
Notice the award prosecutor marshal is holding?
I feel like it would look much better if it was placed the other way.
That's a broken knife! As we already concluded, the knife in the drawing was not Joe Dark's knife.
Although I guess it would be broken at the same spot. So.
That being the case, the knife the witness saw was in all likelihood from this award.
Order, order, order!
Neil Marshall was awarded King of Prosecutors that day. As an award, he was given this broken shield and knife. When he chased after Joe Dark, he pulled out this knife. Being a prosecutor, he did not carry a pistol. This broken knife was the only weapon he had in this dangerous situation.
But that can't be.
Oh, and why not, Mr. Edgeworth?
Because if the King of Prosecutors' knife was the murder weapon, then the murderer and the victim would be reversed.
What do you mean?
I mean, this man raising a knife would have been Prosecutor Neil Marshall.
Oh!
That's something. But the prosecutor was the one who actually died.
That's true. What's going on? I thought you had this figured out, Phoenix.
It's getting complicated.
I understand,
It
but...
seems Mr. Wright has been a bit too eager to jump to conclusions.
Wait! I remember now! I remember everything!
Okay, witness. What's up? Tell us the deets. Spill the tea.
Mr. Edgeworth,
What is it?
could you show me your evidence list again, please?
His list? The one with that picture scribbled on the back?
I knew it. This picture. I'm the one who drew it.
What?
You drew that?
That's right. The list wasn't torn in half at the time I drew this picture. All this time I've been trying so hard to forget. I must have locked this part away deep inside me.
Perhaps it would be best if we added this to the witness's testimony. Would you please tell us what you've recalled, Miss Sky?
Yes, Your Honor.
This part's a doozy.
First the knife mix-up, and now the fucking blue badger? This should be interesting.
Emma's recollection.
When I saw that man raise his knife, I panicked and rushed toward both of them. I think I knocked away the man with the knife. Just then, there was another flash of lightning, and that's when I saw the blue badger. He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow.
This is certainly most unusual. Quite impossible. The chief of detectives hadn't even designed him until this year.
That doesn't say designed.
Hadn't even designed him?
Yeah.
That correct?
No.
Then why?
Didn't even design him, or hadn't even designed him.
How dare you, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney?
That's Edgeworth, technically.
How dare you, Capcom?
That would mean he didn't even exist 2 years ago.
Yes, well, the defense may now begin its cross-examination.
Stop! Please, don't pursue this any further!
Too bad.
Lana.
What's the meaning of this? Please remain seated in the defendant's chair.
But you can't do this. I've already confessed to the crime. Why can't you just leave it at that?
Chief Prosecutor Sky. We've already come this far. It's too late to turn back. Silence. The defense will now begin its cross-examination. Bailiff, please detain the defendant.
Seems we're finally getting to the core of the matter.
I'm saying Phoenix never got rehired. He's still not the defense on this case.
When you say that man, I assume you refer to Joe Dark? Yes, at least I think it was him. You think? All I could really see was shadows.
The power outage that immediately preceded the incident is also documented in the prosecutor's office reports. So then you...
Why would you do something so dangerous? What else could I have done? He was about to stab Mr. Marshall. She seems convinced that Dark was the one holding the knife.
But as we've just theorized, Mr. Marshall was the one holding the knife.
Well, I didn't know that at the time. When that Dark guy knocked me down, all I could think was, I've got to help that other person. Is that new?
No,
I don't remember reading that earlier.
you did.
Okay. What do you mean, you think? It all happened so fast, and I was in shock. I don't remember everything clearly. What I did, it's all kind of a blur.
Miss Sky was almost killed before she was witness to a murder about to take place. With so much happening in a matter of seconds, a little disorientation is only natural.
I saw the man about to stab the other person, who I thought was Mr. Marshall. I knew I had to stop the man with the knife.
What you did was very brave, young girl. So then, what happened next?
Are you sure about this? Of course, see? I even drew a picture of him there. Here.
But it was the chief of detectives who thought up this hideous beast. And that was just this year. The Blue Badger didn't exist 2 years ago. This is all quite verifiable. Actually, over last year, but you know.
I know it sounds strange. I was surprised too when I saw him at the police department.
Within a year, maybe, but...
I had this nagging feeling that I'd seen him before somewhere. Now I finally remember. Oh, brother. Just when you thought that thing had caused enough commotion.
Tell us, where in the room did you see him dancing?
He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow. I read that already, didn't I? No, that isn't it.
No.
What? I don't know.
That's not
Screw it. His shadow? So you mean you didn't actually see his face with its winning smile and all? That's right, but I still remember it. He had 3 creepy horns.
This is pointless. That thing couldn't have possibly existed 2 years ago. The witness must be mistaken.
That may well be. But what's important is what caused her to think she saw what she did.
Oh, and I suppose you have an explanation? If so, then by all means, please tell us what this shadow really was.
What was it Emma saw when that lightning flashed? Who is this Blue Badger, really?
Let's look at our evidence.
Yeah, let's do it.
And that's,
I have an idea, but I'm not sure how I have that idea, if you know what I mean.
Take a look at your guess. I already know what it is, so. You might be onto something, depending on what you're looking at.
I'm relatively sure I'm onto something. I'm just not sure if I have to actually point it out. I'm gonna struggle.
I can tell you that I'm pretty sure the piece of evidence you have to present is not this photo.
Okay. Well, I wasn't saying it was, but
Yeah.
this was at least gonna give me. Okay.
There's another piece of evidence to look at.
It's not that, is it?
Try looking closer.
Is there a blue badger in there somewhere?
Try looking closer.
How can we make this look like the blue badger? It's only got 2 things.
I hate this part of the case. You'll get that eventually, just keep looking around.
I mean, it's not in a blood splatter. It's just got to be presented. I mean, I feel like there's almost a blue badger here, but not quite.
Yeah. Like, around there, pretty much. Something like that.
Boy, that's a stretch. Feels like it anyway. Oh, I gotta go back and look at the blue badger. I gotta make this make sense in my mind before I can present it.
Don't worry, it doesn't have to make sense in your mind. It has to relatively make sense. It's so stupid.
Wait, let me look at the drawing again. I know I'm just wasting time now, but this feels important.
I'm pretty sure the drawing is literally just the blue badger. I don't think they tried to make it look like an off blue badger. They just drew the blue badger.
But remember, her drawing's not great, so maybe I
Yeah.
can see it more in here. Boy, that feels like a stretch still.
It is. Very much so. I'm not sure which side you're supposed to look at from the top of the bomb.
I didn't think about doing it that way.
You know, like, could do like,
Yeah, that feels a little better.
yeah, something like that.
Oh yeah, that's much closer.
It's so fucking stupid. Oh my god. Alright, let's go tell Edgeworth.
Go tell Edgeworth.
Am
Am I gonna like walk over there? Do I get to get up from the thing and walk around?
Yeah, big wide open world.
And it's gonna look like Pokemon graphics though, right? That'd be awesome. Okay, anyway. The blue badger hadn't even been dreamt up when Emma drew this picture. Yet she's certain she saw its shadow. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the defense's belief that on that fateful day 2 years ago, there indeed was something that looked similar to the blue badger. Something that is now sitting in this very room. Mr. Wright!
In this room? Very well, Mr. Wright. What is it that the witness saw in that instant? Please show us this mysterious blue badger lookalike. That text isn't in green because fuck you.
Didn't you say there was either going to be or was a Phoenix Wright adaptation, like anime live action something?
There is an anime and a live action. I think there's a musical and a movie. Maybe not a musical, like I don't know, something on stage.
And how can I see all this right now?
And a movie. And there's an anime. Phoenix pulls out a big old face.
The mysterious blue badger was in fact this.
I think most of them are only in Japanese, though. The anime, I think, has a dub. But that's... What exactly is that?
I mean, closed captioning exists.
Yeah.
Or subtitles.
I think the movie is, like, a bit more serious-ish.
I believe it's some sort of jar.
And a bit condensed. Same with the anime.
Well, Mr. Wright, that doesn't look anything like the blue badger.
The anime isn't more serious, it's more condensed.
Indeed it doesn't. As it stands now, it's just a plain jar. However, what if we were to change our viewpoint? Oh, don't make me do it.
You're gonna have to do it.
God damn it.
It's very specific as well.
Do the judge's
A
voice.
viewpoint?
I've got to show them the correct angle to look at this from. I definitely liked it better from the front.
Does it have complete different controls now?
Feels a lot more stable.
That, maybe.
Should I go, or would it be...
No, that's too high.
Yeah, and if I turn it down...
I don't know, try looking at it from the other side as well. So do a 180 from there. No, I meant rotate left and right. Oh, I guess not rotate left and right. You'd rotate left and right here. I guess. Yeah, that's how it works.
Alright, this is much smoother. I wish I'd spent an hour getting it right.
It could be either one.
I think it's this way because look at the curve of the handles. They match the curve of his things better.
No, I'm a bit more down.
A bit more down?
That's too high. Way too high.
The back down, you mean?
You need to make it look the most circular. Maybe a bit higher? Yeah,
because he's got
something like that.
He's got a peak.
But that might be good.
Well, is this a miracle or what?
It's so fucking stupid. It's so stupid.
No one can possibly deny this jar's resemblance to the blue badger.
I think you very much can't deny its resemblance to the blue badger. At this specific angle, it kind of looks like the blue badger if you squint your eyes. No, I said something.
It can't be.
It can't be. Order, order. The defense has proven its claim. The mysterious blue badger witness on the day of the crime was actually this. Although we all enjoyed Mr. Wright's dramatic performance, one question remains. What's your point?
What do you mean?
So that badger thing was actually just a jaw. That doesn't change anything. Pointy, pointy, point.
I'm afraid that's where you're wrong, Mr. Edgeworth. You see, this changes everything.
Indeed. Very well then. Please tell us. What's different now that we know the witness saw this? Wait, what will be the location? Look at the picture.
What do you mean?
Just like the picture. That's the only picture we have of the office. We don't have any floor plans or anything.
Yeah.
Which side was it thought to be taken part on?
It's on, if we're looking in the office with the organ directly in front of us, it's on the right side.
Yeah, this is on Gant's side. What is the location presumed to be on?
Lana's side, yeah, because that was supposedly why he kept it that way.
So yeah, it would be Gant's side, because you can see the boss.
Okay. Or the jar, as Phoenix called it.
Yeah. Whatever.
Allow me to take these in turn. At the moment of the murder, the witness saw this jar.
At a very specific angle, I might add, Mr. Wright.
Yes, well, knowing this, where could she have seen this jar?
Well?
The location of the jar is shown in a picture taken on the day of the crime. It's on a shelf in the office of Damon Gant.
But the body was found lying near Lana Sky's desk. The witness testified so herself.
Yes, and it is these two facts that reveal what actually transpired. You see, the struggle between Dark and Marshall did not take place in Lana Sky's office. It happened on the other side of the room, in Chief Gant's office.
Are you implying the murderer moved the victim's body from Damon Gant's office, to Lana Sky's office?
Yes.
Why would he do that? There's no reason.
Exactly.
Exclamation point.
If there wasn't a reason, he wouldn't have gone through the trouble. The only logical conclusion is that there was a reason.
Do you know what that reason was, Mr. Wright? No.
I've finally figured it out. Well, it took you long enough, Phoenix. So this is why Lana tried to stop the trial. It's too late to quit now, though. Please recall the witness's testimony. She said she knocked away the man who was holding up the knife. In the next instant, the jar was hit and flew through the air. Now tell me, what could have sent the jar flying?
That would have to have been the impact the man made when he was knocked into the wall.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I may draw your attention to this picture once more. If the man was knocked in the direction of the shelf the jar was sitting on, what would he have hit?
The shelf.
Ah!
The suit of armor holding a very sharp and dangerous looking sword.
Yes. And since the man who was knocked into the armor was carrying a broken knife, he would have had to have been Neil Marshall, wielding the King of Prosecutors trophy.
No, Mr. White, you can't be thinking.
Yes. There is another possibility of what actually transpired in that room.
Another possibility?
Of course, the perpetrator would have had no idea, but nevertheless... I don't know if I can go through with this.
Mr. White, what's the matter? If events took place as the defense theorizes, then the outcome is obvious. In that moment, assuming the man Emma Sky knocked away was actually Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Doink. It looks so goofy! They have the budget for the animation. Was it gonna keep flashing the camera around?
You mean Mr. Marshall died because of me? No!
Thud. I never imagined your testimony would lead to this. So it was the witness who took the victim's life, and then proved it with her own testimony. It is unprecedented. Objection.
What are you saying?
I'm sorry, Miss Sky, but given the circumstances...
Joe Dog murdered Prosecutor Marshall. How can you think... It was Emma. How dare you try to pin the crime on her?
Imagine that coming from you. If you recall, it was you who admitted to forging evidence 2 years ago. The reason you moved Prosecutor Marshall's body was to keep anyone else from finding out about what Emma did, wasn't it?
I assure you, Mr. Edgeworth, I have no idea what you're talking about. If you hope to have anyone believe your insane allegations, I'm afraid you're going to have proof. Tell me, do you have any conclusive evidence that proves my sister killed Neil Marshall?
Evidence?
I'm willing to bet you don't.
Yes, it certainly would be difficult to prove this with evidence. If we don't have evidence, they'll have to rely on testimony.
I'm afraid that won't work in this case. Both parties involved in the incident are dead. We certainly can't get dead people to test. Or can we? No, we can't.
Now my is too far.
This has all been a wild goose chase from the beginning.
Don't worry, I got you, Phoenix.
Touché, Miss Sky. Of course, that only leaves us with one possibility.
You mean there's still another possibility?
What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? I mean the possibility that the victim has left us a message. For better or worse, Mr. Marshall did not die instantly. He may have left behind the name of the person who took his life. In one manner or another.
That's impossible.
Well, Mr. White, there's the only possibility left to you. A message from the deceased. Does such a message exist?
I have to think back to the court record.
I do not believe this is the option that instantly gets you a game over. But you might want to save just in case. I believe it's a different option later on.
Let's see. Clearly it's this, right? Gotta be something.
A message on my badge!
That's what this writing is over here. Okay. I seriously doubt it's gonna be here.
Well, the message was probably something that was there in the moment.
That's what I'm thinking, but I'm taking my time. You got me all hyped up. I gotta take my time.
Not much on that, except for metal plaques.
Okay, well, let me read it, so... Oh, I'm gonna punch you. I'm gonna punch you. Let me get turned around. I'm gonna punch you. Here I come. Oh, yeah.
Fist bump! I want fist bump your screens, do not. Okay, we're looking at... I'm sorry, I'm back saying here, just...
Fine. I can't look at anything but that, so...
Yeah.
I don't think I can turn it any way to say Emma.
But there's something else that might say it. Let me just tell you now, it is not obvious, but it's a little obvious, but not too obvious.
Will you just give me a chance?
Screwdriver.
Oh, this might have to have some fucking purpose.
Not yet. Unfortunately.
What's next? Half-written document dated 2/21.
Yeah, that's
not gonna be
recent.
it. Floor plans, the glove.
Anything on the glove?
Don't lead me, motherfucker. If I ask for help...
I was genuinely asking, is there anything on the glove?
No, not that I see. Just the SL9.
We still haven't used that. Where do we use that even?
Oh, wait, is there something I can look at? Oh, it's just the tag.
Yeah, it's the tag. SL9.
Well, it did matter because it was the thing that fell out of the locker. Or the thing that held the locker open. Are you looking it up?
No, I'm googling when the instant game over is.
I don't think it would be the evidence. Well, there's this again. I don't think that's anybody's name written in blood. Are you telling me that's supposed to be EMA? Are you fucking kidding me? That's super weak, man. It was more the Blue Badger than that.
Yeah. It's a bit more obvious, though.
It's not that obvious. It's only obvious because you're sitting there like, it ain't obvious. And I'm like, it's gotta be something. Okay, I don't present here yet, though. The real murderer's name that the victim may have left behind.
Wait, real quick save before you make this choice. I don't think there's the instant game over, so like, just in case.
But I thought I was right.
Yeah.
This message from the deceased is already in our possession. Mr. Wright, will you stop at nothing to prove my sister a murderer? Her voice is all over the place today, I'm sorry.
Do not be mistaken, Miss Skye. Our purpose is not to accuse Emma of any crime. There is only one thing we seek. The truth. No matter how painful it may be. Now then, Mr. Wright. Please show us the piece of evidence that conveys a message from the deceased.
This is the message left by the deceased.
There's that blue badger from before, right?
Oh, is he going to just speak the killer's name?
If the thing could, I'm sure it would.
Looks like everyone's forgotten this is just the jar. You You got what I need, but you say it's just a jar, and you say it's just a jar. Oh, baby, you. R.I.P. Bismarcky. A message was left here on the surface of this jar.
What do you mean?
If you look closely, you can see a faint trail of blood on this jar.
It looks like someone wiped the blood away.
Yes, but notice, for some reason, the blood on some of the fragments was not wiped away.
Yes, there's a line here, drawn in blood. So what you're saying is these dots were once lines. Connect the dots, Phoenix Wright.
Prosecutor Marshall did not die instantly. He used the few precious moments left to him to leave behind a message.
I mean, there's kind of a contradiction here, but... one that someone apparently wiped away. Well, blood must have seeped into the jar where the lines changed directions.
Precisely so. All we need to do is connect these points, and the victim's message will become apparent. No.
Mr. White, what kind of message did the victim leave for us?
Your Honor, I believe these bloodstains will reveal us the answer. It still seems a little specious that he would write Emma's name here. Like it was clearly an accident.
This feels like, remember, Tournament Sisters?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
But that was slightly different, too.
Apparently this case is a reference to every other case.
There's only one thing the victim would have written given the circumstances. Gant. I'm gonna make the G here. This is the A in, and then here's the top of the T and the line down.
Exactly! You gotta actually connect the dots.
Connect the dots, la 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 la. Connect the dots, la 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 la. Don't need to
Not so you gotta
these.
connect those. I think that's good enough for an E. There's peak gameplay. And boom.
It's the defense attorney's duty to prove their client's innocence. But I got fired, so I don't know why I'm doing it.
Yeah, I'm just some guy in court right now.
That's why all I've been thinking about is saving Lana. After all my efforts, I never thought it would turn out like this. Emma.
So this is the final message Prosecutor Marshall left behind. Of all people, she may not have meant it, but in the end, the one who took the victim's life
Was Emma Skye.
Seaworthy, can't say I didn't warn ya. I won't punch him. So bad. Chief Gant.
I want to punch you.
So badly. Do you understand the implications of what you've done? What? What are you talking about? 2 years ago, Joe Dock was sentenced to death. He is convicted because of his foul murder. I believe you are the prosecutor in the case, were you not? Ack.
Who is he now, Bill the Cat?
Yes, Worthy. Because of you, an innocent man was sentenced to death. Not only that, you used forged evidence to ensure his conviction.
Why did he get so high-pitched? But Joe Dark really was a serial murderer. That's undeniable.
I'm afraid that's not important. Didn't you know? We aren't defenders of justice.
What?
We're merely keepers of the law. Sentencing a man to death is no light matter. Even if there wasn't any cover-up or evidence forgery, ultimately the responsibility falls on the prosecutor in charge. Or maybe you should have gone better evidence, Detective Man. Despite what anyone may say, this fact cannot be denied. We're talking. What's going on at the prosecutor's office?
They may have done an innocent man to a death.
How can you just stand there like it wasn't his fault? Order! Order! Order!
The gavel's pounding fell on deaf ears.
Pound, 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 pound.
Unable to settle the crowd, the judge declared a recess. Where this trial is headed, no one knows.
But thanks for watching this episode of the game. Not like, subscribe because I have multiple names. Good night.
Gabba the game night, Gabba the game night, Gabba the game night, yay. Come on and watch him play games every other day. If you subscribe now, you won't miss out on any of the action. So come on, click that subscribe button.